wait. Where does confidence come from? This is what most people think. Most people think the ride to success feels like you're already there. How could that be? You can't arrive when you're on your way, right? And so that's the thing. But being able to help people, being able to serve people, and being able to feel confident have nothing to do with accomplishment. And that's why you have so many people that have accomplished so much that have no self-confidence, right? Because it's never enough. You can't achieve enough to compensate for your lack of confidence. Yet you can have as much confidence as you want, regardless of your circumstance. This is what I love about this crisis. I love this crisis for that reason, because it's like, well, wait a minute. All the stuff I thought was true before is now gone, all the external stuff. So what's true inside me? If you're already not feeling confident, that's just going to be exasperated. So then you have to go back. So it's not that you push through it or pretend like it's not there. You just know that it's always going to be along for the ride. And if you let that get in the way of helping people, you're missing the point. But let's talk about why so many of us say something like, well, I have work to do. Like I got to get over this first. I got to work on this first. I got to do models on this first, and then I'm going to go. So instead of wanting to feel confident, why don't you try to feel courageous? Because then the fear is still allowed to be there, right? Because without fear, you don't need courage. But you're like, I want to feel confident. No, you don't need to feel confident. Just be courageous and knowing that you're going to fail. Like confidence, we want to feel confident because we want to have some protection against failure. And we feel like if we're confident, then we know we won't make a mistake because look, we have such a history. But if we just want to be courageous, then okay, let's go. We have fear, and I'm willing to fail, and I'm just going to keep moving forward. It's what I tell you guys all the time. The only difference between me and you is that I'm willing to fail more. That's it. The way that you find out what you really want is not by tapping into it. It's by trying a bunch of different things. So you can either just keep doing what you're doing or not do, and be so worried about what everyone else thinks that you don't create the life you want. What will people think? I mean, this is like somebody has a thought about you, like, hey, what's she doing over there? Right? That's a brief thought that they have that's determining your whole life. If I cared what people thought about me, it's like if I could teach anything, it's like, let people think what they'll think. Well, and then your whole life is like, well, she pleased other people, and other people are barely even paying attention to you. You're spending so much time trying to please them. I mean, they're so focused on trying to please other people in their life that they're barely even thinking about you. They're making snap judgments about you. It's like when people email me and have opinions on how I should run my business, how I should speak, what I should do, and all of that stuff. That's just a fleeting moment for them. This is my life. Like your observation, your drive-by observation is irrelevant to how I run my life. But so many of us are so worried. What are all these people thinking about my life that we live this like pretend life that we can't understand why it's so unsatisfying. Yeah. Even if you try something and it's the wrong thing, you will have learned so much and evolved yourself that you're definitely going to get closer to the thing you may want to do. And the other thing is doing all these different things is part of our growth as human beings. Being stagnant and buffering because we're unsatisfied, that's the only thing that makes us go backwards instead of forward. We trade discomfort, right? So there's the discomfort of stagnation and then there's this discomfort of growth, but the discomfort of stagnation feels familiar. So we think it's actually comfortable, but it's not. It feels terrible. That's why you're working so much to not feel that way. Yeah. And so that's the trade-off that we have to decide we're going to do for our own life, because I think regret is only just staying in one place, right? We end up just sticking in one place, trying to make ourselves, it's like rocking in the corner, trying to make ourselves comfortable instead of using that energy to evolve. And I think sometimes we can do thought models and do too much thought work. And you have to make sure you're balancing that out with action and failure. Like how many times have you all failed this week? We start feeling vulnerable because the world's falling apart. And then we're like, oh no, I can't fail right now. This is the time, right? We got to put ourselves out there and do our thing. This is, I feel like, a great opportunity to do that too. Learning new things isn't a struggle. Like that's just not a fact. Like you have to find the thought that's creating anxiety. I don't know how to do this. I'm not good at this. What is it? Like make it personal. Like find the thought that's making it so personal that's making you feel anxious. I mean, honestly, like when you're first starting to learn new things online, technically, like I don't think the fact that there's anxiety there that you're creating by your thinking, I don't know how to do this, I'm not good at this, I'm going to make mistakes, this is taking too long, all of that is a problem. Like, I feel like that's just Tuesday. And there's nothing to fix. So I think sometimes it's kind of like what we were talking about earlier. I think sometimes we think that creating new things and doing new things should feel easy and should feel right and should feel like we're already successful. And I don't know why we think that. That thought alone has stolen more dreams from more people because they're like, oh, this doesn't feel right. Like I try to think about gymnasts who are like trying to figure out how to do a flip. Right? And they're like, why can't I do a flip yet? This should be easy. I should just be able to do a flip. It's like, no, they're going to fall 100 times and they know that. And then they're going to do the flip. We're like, and we're like, well, I better do some thought work because, you know, I keep falling on this flip. No, just keep trying to do the flip and then you'll learn how to do a flip. Right? So you guys have to be aware that sometimes you're backing up and trying to like get back in your head so you don't have to keep falling. Yeah. Right. I just want you to keep falling and keep doing it, and still being afraid of falling doesn't mean you don't keep doing it. Or you're like, this is very uncomfortable. No, I get it. It's absolutely terrible. But when you're able to look at it from a place of awareness, when you're able to look at your emotional life from that observer level, it's okay that it's terrible. It's like, oh, for some reason, we think everything should feel good, especially when we're comparing our beginning with someone else's end. And we're comparing how other people look to how we feel. So you look at me and you're like, oh, she feels confident all the time, right? You're not feeling my anxiety that I always have, right? Because of the way that I'm showing up and the way that the rest of the world is showing up. Listen, there are people out there that need your help, that are waiting for you to get over yourself so you can help them. You know that that's true, right? Talking about the problem anymore, I can tell for you, is not going to serve you. Talking about you not feeling enough or whatever. It's kind of like, of course you don't feel enough. Of course you don't feel confident enough. You're doing something brand new. Now what? That can't be a reason why you don't go, right? That can't be a reason why you don't succeed. Like, can you imagine? Well, I can't succeed because I haven't succeeded yet. So what? So what if someone's judging you? They're like, oh, I don't think, Michael, I don't know, you don't have the certification that I would like you to have. And I don't think you have the degree that I would like you to have. And it's like, okay, bye. But you're going to have someone that comes to you and is like, I don't care what your degree is. I don't care. Can you help me? That's all I care about. People that ask me about my degree, I'm like, my degree, this is what I think is hilarious. People will be like, do you have a degree? And I'll say I have a degree in psychology. They're like, oh, okay. Thank goodness that you have a degree in psychology. Now I'll let you help me. I'm like, seriously? My degree in psychology provided me with nothing that I used to help you, right? So that's not my person. People that ask me questions like that, that's not my person. The person is like, I don't care. If you can help me, I'm in. Yeah. And you have to stop caring about what other people think about you that aren't going to buy from you anyway. Well, and think about that. You're trying to convince people that are probably never going to, those people that are like, well, I don't know, they're never going to buy from you anyway. And you're spending a lot of time thinking about them. You should be thinking about the person that's like, can you help me? Please help me. Those are your people. Okay. So you're wondering, should I join Scholars? Hi there, it's Brooke Castillo. We teach you about your mental health. We teach you about your thoughts and thinking and cognition. The truth is in our brain. We teach you about your emotions and how much they affect what you do in your life. If you feel like you're just riding the line of normalcy or mediocrity and you want more, Scholars is the solution for that. For those of you who want to join me, simply click on the button to enroll, fill out the form. I will give you full access to the website within minutes. I'm thrilled that you are interested in becoming a scholar, and I can't wait to see you in class.